All right, everybody. Evening edition, liveweatherblogs.com. And we're talking about the pattern now resembling a crazy train by Ozzy Osbourne because it's going to be one storm after another coming into the area. Let's get you started with tomorrow's feature. I don't want to discount this. It's not a big deal, but you see what's happening right here? We've got some snow breaking out from this leftover feature left back behind, and there have been some clear skies. So the temperature actually now, wild weather, Kevin just reported to me that the skies are clearing out. It's allowing these temperatures to drop down a little lower than we originally thought with that radiational cooling going on in that snowpack. So this now may become a little batch of snow tomorrow, and the reason I say that is because when you look at the NAM, which was catching up to the GFS here on this little feature for tomorrow. You see by tomorrow morning, actually this would be around, tomorrow morning around daybreak, we're looking at maybe a tenth of an inch of precip, which is not a big deal. It's an inch or less if it was to stick to the snow, which it will, obviously. And then on the roads it may not, depending on the temperatures in your area. You can see we're sitting at or above freezing, although I think it's going to be a little cold now looking at those clear skies. And you look down here and what we're talking about is a tenth of an inch in a lot of locations. And it shows up nicely here on this extracted data. There's a 0.09, a point 0.1. We look for the 540 line. We're at 539 in the core of that snow. That would be tomorrow in the morning hours, basically. And 33 degrees is surface temperature. And if you scroll down a little bit, your 850 temperatures are at just below freezing. So this could be a rain and snow, Philly south, Philly north, a wet snow. Like I said, I don't think it's a big deal. It's just if you wake up tomorrow and you see it snowing outside, you have been warned here on the site versus some other places that may miss it. They may not. Who knows? We'll see. All right, let's move on to the good stuff. And we're going to take a look first at the Canadian model and show you at about 72 hours or so. This is through Friday morning. You see where they're centering the low. This is the Canadian. A good spot. This is like last year. A real good spot shooting out of here and cutting across, allowing this snow line to stay mainly south of the beaches or right at the beaches. And we get snow in most locations in the mid-Atlantic. And you can see there a little pump of moisture. There's your 850. So the beaches will have a little bit of mix going on. And then you can see here with the temperatures, we're going to be in good shape. And the moisture is somewhere over in this column, which indicates 5 to 8 inches of snow on the Canadian model for Friday. So that one is showing up nicely. You go over to the GFS, and there you go. Again, you're taking a look at the system working its way through, and it continues to roll right along. There it goes. Right in this slot right here. Perfect slot for snow for Philadelphia Metro up to New York and parts of D.C. And you can see, again, there's that darker blue. That would indicate in this range the third one, which is anywhere between 5 and maybe 10 inches of snow in some spots. But that's the thinking on those two models. The NAM has been the highest number, and it's holding its own here. The last couple runs, we get by tomorrow's situation, and we get back into the situation at hand here on Friday. This is breaking out about 1 o'clock in the morning Friday. You see the snow working its way out, and then by 4 o'clock in the morning, it is snowing across a good portion of the area. There are the temperatures below freezing, at freezing. This is down on the ground. And then when we look down in this slot here, you can see we're already going to have maybe a couple inches on the ground, a nice flow coming in off the ocean. This is a nice little system here. I shouldn't say little because it's actually a significant system coming through. This is where it gets interesting right around 12Z. Now, they've slowed it down a little. We thought the heaviest precip was going to be around 7 o'clock. It may be now at 9. But anyway, you slice it, the rush hour is going to be a mess. And you've got some heavier bands. This is not rain, by the way. Some people thought this is the amount of liquid with this system. What you look for in the rain snow line is, see this black line right here? This is an 850 millibar temperature at about 5,000 feet. If you stack the Comcast Center about 5 times up or about 4 times on the Empire State Building, this is kind of where you sit in that layer of snow. If you're down here, you're going to have a mixing issue. If you're up here, it's all snow. And then that's the surface temperature. Everything's going to stick, obviously, to the ground. And then you go down there, and you can see it's already starting to get going. Now, when we move along here into that next slot, there it is right there. This is around 10 o'clock in the morning. Look at the amount of snow coming in here. This is a pretty good moderate to heavy snow, and you see the 850 line turning colder. Now, this would mean behind some mix at the beaches, you're going to get a pretty good burst of snow, heavy snow, and that heavy snow will extend back into Philadelphia and the Lehigh Valley. And then there's your 32, crashing in these colder temperatures, higher snow ratios. And then you work your way down, and you can start to see here we're getting in that 7 to 11 inch snowfall range on the NAM. And then when we move it along even further, as it starts to move out, you can see the final totals for 84 hours set up like this. We're in that 7 to 11 inch range, and then you've got real heavy snow up here, and there comes the cold air behind it, and everybody turns brutally cold and windy into Friday night. So that is the latest. The thinking here is we are going to get a significant snow. The thinking also here in the live weather blog side is 4 inches or more for a good portion of the Philadelphia area up to New York. Probably we're sitting in that 4 to 12 range right now. Tonight we will do the school closing meters, but I can tell you early on, if you're Dover North, Millville North, almost a pretty solid bet you're off on Friday. If you're south, maybe suspect with some mixing, but I don't see this track changing a whole lot. And we'll break down county by county and school closing meter tonight after 10:30 Eastern Time. Rob Greeno, liveWithBlogs.com. Enjoy the crazy train of weather.